Welcome to I Learned a Thing in the Bathroom from Dollar Shave Club, where we explain something very complicated in mere minutes to occupy your brain while you shave. In this edition, we'll be answering the question, where do all of our sayings about drinking come from? As explained by someone who sounds smart because he's British.
And before we start, I'm going to ask, do you have any words that can soothe my pounding hangover?
No, but I can tell you that the word hangover has been around since at least the late 1800s, and it's very simple to explain. Literally, something that's hanging on as a leftover of the night before. More interesting is the hair of the dog, that you're probably considering as a way of treating it. That phrase stems from the old notion that, if bitten by a dog, applying a few of said dog's hairs to the wound will help to cure it. This in itself is a variation of the like cures like idea that's been around since the time of Hippocrates, the most famous figure in medicine, in 300 BC. In drinking terms, it's a classic cure, with versions of the phrase found in almost all cultures.
This is not helping me. It's not fair. I didn't even mean to get drunk in the first place.
Ah, so you fell off the wagon. And that's got a good story behind it too. Back in the late 19th century, when roads would become unbearably dusty in the dry summer months, special wagons would drive up and down, sprinkling water to wet them down. As public support for prohibition started to grow around that time, people would proclaim their vow to give up booze by saying they'd rather drink from the water wagon than touch a drop of alcohol. At this point, they were said to be on the wagon. If their vow failed, they'd be off it again.
I didn't fall off the wagon as such. I just meant to have one drink, then stop.
You mean you wanted to wet your whistle? There's a long-standing rumor that this expression comes from a special whistle baked into the rim of the ceramic cups people used to drink from. When they wanted service, they would simply whistle into the cup. Sadly, this is completely made up. The more mundane truth is simply an acknowledgement that it's very hard to whistle when you have a dry mouth. And that phrase has been around for hundreds of years, even appearing in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales in 1478.
Will you please stop talking about drinking?
You'll be okay. Maybe you just need some Dutch courage. That's a phrase that comes from the 30 Years' War in the mid-1600s, when English soldiers took to drinking Dutch gin as a way of both keeping warm and staying calm before a battle. They had to go easy, of course, so as not to end up 3 sheets to the wind. And that's originally a nautical expression. The sheets in question are actually the ropes fixed to the lower corners of a ship's sails. If these ropes are loose and blowing about, the sails will flap and the boat will move like a wobbly drunk person.
I'm going to throw up now.
Well, it's really more traditional to paint the town red than brown. And painting the town red has 2 competing origin stories. One tells of a legendary drunken night out by the Marquis of Waterford and his pals in England in 1837, in which, among other acts of vandalism, they painted various doors and statues with red paint. The other version of the tale stems from the number of brothels that appeared in the Old West, and the idea that men would treat entire towns like a red light district.
Is there an origin for the expression, shut the hell up and let me take a nap before I barf on your shoes?
I don't think so, no.
Thank God.
Tune in next time for more I Learned a Thing in the Bathroom. And in the meantime, head to dollarshaveclub.com for more podcasts and a big old pile of grooming products.